My gorgeous wife, Alyssa, is gonna do the foot ability protocol. It's not an end-all be-all of what you could do for your feet, but it's really simple. It's helped a lot of people. She's gonna do 10 minutes of backward walking, then 25 tibialis raises, 25 flexor hallucis longus calf raises. We'll cover what that means. 25 more tibialis raises, and then up to 50 seated free weight calf raises. The reason backward walking is the foundation, sort of the hidden foundation of foot health, is because when you walk forward, imagine you're taking a step forward, you're sort of receiving the impact. Your foot is receiving the effect. Now go to take a step backward. Good. Now, yep. And then go ahead and bring this right foot back as if you're stepping. Boom. All of a sudden, you're no longer just passively receiving the force through the foot. You're now actively pushing through the foot. You're mobilizing through the foot. You're stretching and strengthening through the foot. So 10 minutes of this, just walking backward, is something that we're seeing just about anyone who can walk forward can do. And over time, you could start to drag a sled and resist yourself and add load. So everything in this is not just a drill. It's a long-term exercise that you could use the rest of your life, not just for some short-term protocol. So she's now going to do 10 minutes of walking backward, and then we'll get back to it. 10 minutes backwards done. Now she's going to do 25 tibialis raises. You just count. We're talking about your anterior tibialis. These muscles are actually pretty simple to understand, but they're in a different language. So anterior, okay, front. Tibialis, the tibia is your shin bone. So your tibialis is your front shin bone muscle. So these muscles would all be pretty easy to keep track of if it was like your front shinnius, but it's your anterior tibialis. So this muscle goes all the way down and even attaches to the inside of the foot. When we go back to comparing to walking, we're putting that force in. So this is like increasing your resilience against the forces of life, because it's not just walking. That's in sports, for example, in basketball, you get your advantage from how much force can you thrash to make the opponent think you're going that way, but actually you're not going that way. It's like how, you did it? Yeah. Beautiful. Moving on from your front shinnius, we're going to your flexor hallucis longus. She actually already started doing a few reps here, so I won't make the wifey do more than 25 or I could be in big trouble. You can do this against the wall, just didn't really want my wife's butt facing the camera, didn't think about that one too much. So this is a calf raise. By putting a lean into it, you simply get a lot of big toe stretch and load at the top. You want your body like a straight line. And I'll throw on a visual on the screen of progressing this to single leg. So she's gonna do her 25 reps with 2 legs, but you can progress this to single leg and it becomes a really challenging exercise. Flexor, so flexing. Hallucis is the big one. Hallucis means of the big toe. So this muscle actually starts there in your big toe and it wraps 2/3 the way up your calf. It's one of the longest muscles in the human body, hence longus. So it's a muscle that flexes, starts in your big toe, and there you go. Now another 25 tibialis raises, and it's worth mentioning that you can progress this in the advanced zero program. I do this 1 leg at a time, and there's all kinds of awesome loaded devices. So you don't only have to do this version. Progressing to 1 leg or using loaded devices, again, this is not just a drill. It's something you can use the rest of your life. So I still do this once a week, even though you could use it a few times a week, I think in early stages to get things going. Now her last exercise, up to 50 reps, I'm gonna help her get situated. Put the balls of your feet there. You could use any kind of slanted surface, and now you can load like this. Now you wouldn't have to start with load, so you're gonna count all the way to 50. Okay. And I want you to just do a calf raise. Up, and then go down. So what's happening here is it's a calf raise. Why not just the FHL calf raise? Why this one? Because when your knee is bent like this, you load more into the soleus, which is a lower, deeper calf muscle. Sole, think like the sole of your foot. So it's the lower, deeper calf muscle that gets down into here. And it actually has, it's said to have the strongest pull pound for pound of any muscle in the human body. It's seen in tests to handle up to 8 times your body weight in force when you run. So it's an underrated muscle that doesn't fully get trained if you just do regular calf raises. Slide your toes back up. Okay, good, keep going. Now hold these on your thighs. Seated calf machines are fantastic. However, notice the range of motion she's getting. Most people, once they go onto a seated calf machine, the machine itself has weight. We think to add a lot of weight, and we don't get quite as much range of motion. Plus, someone can start this without a machine that's going to cost a lot of money. So this is allowing her to train that soleus, but to get that really big stretch from making her go light and rebuild, hence the 50 reps. We want to go really light and get this range of motion that most of us have never had. And she's also training one side at a time. She has an even amount of weight between sides. So she's getting a really nice effect here. It's training one side at a time in the process. How many are you at?
30.
Good. So even if you were getting a burn at 30, you could stop it right there. We're trying to get a really good burn, hence up to 50 reps, meaning like if you weren't getting a burn at 50 reps, it probably wasn't enough weight. Maybe some foot slippage. We had her go barefoot for this just to really show those feet moving. But I've noticed that if I'm wearing shoes, my feet don't slide. Any kind of slanted surface, you could even get creative with it, is going to give you a nice stretch at the bottom and at the top. My closing statement is that I believe the body was designed to work well. It's going to decay and die, but I believe it was designed to work well without needing painkillers and surgeries just to get by. So anyone who has gone into a gym and worked out has probably increased the chances of foot pain because squats, deadlifts, leg presses, leg extensions, all the most common leg exercises do load your muscles, but your feet don't move. So the moment we get on that backward sled, we're not only doing something that got myself and a lot of other people off painkillers for our knees, without realizing it, we're loading through our feet. And already in my early 20s, I had nasty chronic foot pain, and so did my dad. So I just thought, geez, it's genetic, and for me, it's hit me a lot sooner, probably because of how intensely I played basketball. So same me, nothing for foot treatment, just pain-free ability training, increasing the ability that I have without pain over time. And now I can play full court hardwood basketball games in barefoot shoes. So compared to a normal person, upper level resilience of the feet. So that's what I try to work on. That's why I have the lowest price in the world for form coaching, and I put all my stuff up there, and I put lots of data out for free because I think the knowledge should be available. I think it should be common sense, common knowledge, all this stuff. And then, sorry, soleus is on fire. Whew. And I think people should be able to get coached affordably and get perfect form because the people who do my system now, they know it well enough that they can help other people with it. So I appreciate all your support. If you want a pair of ATG buddies, I'll put that link in the description. I make these and I've already reordered with American-made recycled rubber as our next order. All right, I'm burning too much. Much love. Thanks for watching.